Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today we're going to talk about how to hide the cable box and all of the cables that you see sticking down below over here. Alright, there's lots of different lots of different attachments you can get for the wall. The one I picked out in particular, it's actually a box sort of like this here. You put it together like this, you mount this on the wall, the cable box then sits inside here. All of the cables go up and are hidden behind the TV. But we're not going to put this together yet because we need to put the bracket onto the wall first. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cable box, we're going to hold it up on the wall at the position where you want to actually have the box hidden. Okay, my dogs are actually telling me that they want a cookie, so we're gonna get them a cookie in a minute. But I'm gonna show you this first. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the cable box and we're gonna hold it up behind the TV set where we want to mount it. Then we're gonna have our assistant press the remote to make sure that the cable box turns on. I'm not going to turn it on. I know that this spot is actually a good spot because my assistant did help me. So that's where we're going to mount the box right there. I put a very small mark on the wall, and now we're going to take this. We're just going to put this down over here out of our way for now. We take our box, our bracket, we bring our bracket up onto the wall, and then we mark two marks on the wall where we want to mount the mollies in the wall to hold the bracket. The mollies and all of the pieces come with the bracket that you need. These are the small little mollies that they give you, and all of the screws to mount it. We are not going to use these screws because these are for a different application, so we're going to put those off to the side. These screws would be, if this bracket was going to be attached to something metal, that's what these are. These are actually different type of threads, but we're not going to use those. What we are going to need to use, we're going to need a drill, we're going to need a hammer, probably just a Phillips head screwdriver. A drill bit is 3/16 because according to the directions, that's what we need to drill a 3/16 hole for the molly. We are going to use a stud finder just to avoid any kind of problem. If you don't have a stud finder, it's no big deal. You can do without the stud finder. All right, so let me just take the TV. I'm going to move it out of the way, and then we're going to put the holes in the wall, and we'll mount the mollies on there, and we'll continue. Okay, so we're putting our 3/16 bit into the drill. Now, like I told you, we have our stud finder. I put the marks on the wall already. We're going to put our stud finder on the wall, and we're going to move it along. And now we know there's a stud here. There's no stud there, and there's no stud there. So we know that where I'm mounting the bracket, there is no stud in the wall. But if you didn't have this stud finder, then instead of drilling a 3/16 hole in the wall, you would basically just go down to drill like a 1/16 of an inch hole in the wall. Because if you're drilling, putting a molly in, you need the very large 3/16 hole. If you're not putting a molly in, then you just drill a 1/16 to an 1/8 inch hole, and then the screw itself would actually screw into the beam. But that's not the case here. Okay, so we're going to take the drill. You don't want to drill too hard and have the drill damage the wall itself, so we're just going to go very slowly. Then you take your molly, put it in the wall here, and we're going to take this one and put it in the wall here. We take our hammer and just tap it. Until it's flush with the wall. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our bracket, hold our bracket up, catch both screws, then we just grab our Phillips head screwdriver and we screw it in. Now, I would recommend not using a electric screwdriver because if you screw it in too far, you can damage the molly and the molly will be no good. Okay, and now our bracket is mounted on the wall. We're going to take the other part of the bracket. We're going to put it on here like this. We're going to screw on this. We're just going to leave this open a little bit like this. We'll take our cable box, put our cable box in here like this, slide it, tighten it up like this, and that's it. That's where our cable box is going to be mounted. Now we are going to get some shorter cables for here, or we can just take these and loop these around and put like a tie on it, like a zip tie to hold them together, and we'll get all the wiring up and out of the way. So let me get these all zip tied up here, and I'll look up. Okay, I just wanted to point this out to you, work that I had previously done. Now when you look down at the floor here, you see your outlet where the electricity is, and that white spot is where I actually cut into the wall, brought the wire over, and brought it up and put the power outlet right next to the TV bracket itself. At the same time, I brought up the cable from the cable company, and I also put that directly next to the power supply to hide all the wires from sight. Okay, so as you can see, this is now the finished product. No more wires hanging down underneath the bottom. We took everything and we put it up on the bracket that mounts the bracket to the wall itself. And basically we just used zip ties such as this. You could buy other things too. They're actually made of like a Velcro that you can actually Velcro them around there. The only thing I would recommend is make sure that you have enough slack in the cables so that if you were to turn the TV or to move the TV out from the wall further, that you don't pull the wires too tight and wind up with a problem. All right, but that's it. Finished and on to the next one. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.